Okay, Marv, thanks a lot. And Game 2 of our doubleheader is at the Summit in Houston, a matchup of last year's NBA finalists, the Rockets, hosting the Orlando Magic. It's always an attractive matchup at the center position with Shaq, who will be the starting center for the East in the upcoming NBA All-Star Game, going up against Hakeem Olajuwon, who will likely be the starting center for the West. Now, in addition to the Magic and Rockets coming up in just a few minutes, at 5 o'clock Eastern Time, we have final round coverage of the Bob Hope Chrysler Classic. The leaders have just in game is Anfernee Hardaway, the terrific young guard of the Magic, and Peter Bessie spoke with him earlier this week.
Tell me about your recruiting of the Magic, the way that you had the first interview with them. Everybody said that they were going after Chris Webber. Then they brought you back for that second interview. How did you prepare for that second workout?
Well, I knew the first interview, speaking on that first, was just going to be like a little shoot around and do some drills, and then they'd have a good look at me then. But the second time around, I knew it was going to make or break me for making the Magic or not being with the Magic, because I knew I was going to be scrimmaging against those guys. So all that day before I went to Orlando, I was just thinking about what kind of moves I was going to do, how I was going to play defensively, rebounding the basketball, try to show them my all-around game at one time.
And then when it was over, John Gabriel, the general manager, told me that you said something to him. You pulled him aside. You asked him if you could talk to him. And you said that if you look past me, you're going to be making a mistake. Correct?
Yeah, I told him that. I was telling them that because that's the way that I had felt. You know, I felt that I had came in and showed them a good workout, and if they passed on me, that it might come back to haunt them later on. But it wasn't a threat. It was just telling them the truth.
He didn't take it as a threat.
That's what I'm... Okay.
He took... In fact, he said he applauded you for your enthusiasm that you showed at that point. It seems every time there's adversity in your life, you respond so much so, you know, where you had trouble in school, you know, with your marks, you were able to overcome that, you know, not having any money, not having your parents around. Now you come into this season, they didn't appreciate you when you got to Orlando. Mm-hmm. You're always trying to prove people. Is that what you're trying to do, that you are the man?
I think I try to go through life proving that I belong, you know, no matter where it's at, off the floor, on the floor. And a lot of people say I don't have to do that, but it's just my will and just my attitude that I have to prove that I can do whatever somebody tells me that I can't do.
More of Peter's interview with Penny Hardaway at halftime. Now, Doc, some thoughts for your Penny?
I'll tell you, you know, he's talking about more people telling him what he can't do, and they got to stop saying those types of things eventually, because this guy can take over a game from the offensive end or the defensive end, which is a rare commodity in the NBA. I spoke to him yesterday, and he told me what he needed to do to beat Houston today, and you're going to see a lot of today's game in which Penny Hardaway and Nick Anderson take Kenny Smith and Sam Cassell down in the low post where they'll both be unstoppable.
Peter.
This is about the third or fourth time I've interviewed Penny since he came into the league, and it never fails to amaze me, the maturity that he has, and then watching him out on the court, his passionate pursuit of perfection. I mean, you wonder, this kid's too good to be true, and what amazes me more than anything, I think, is the way he dedicates himself to the team. When Shaquille O'Neal is not in there, he's able to dominate. When Shaquille O'Neal is in there, he defers to him for the good of the team. In this day and age, this kid is a very unique individual.
One more note here. In addition to the Bulls' win over the Pistons, there's a final to report in the NBA. The Raptors over the Celtics, 97-9. Rookie of the Year candidate, 23 points, 9 assists. Rick Fox, a near triple-double in defeat for the Celtics. And 14 boards. The Magic and the Rockets coming up. We'll send it out to the Summit right after these messages from your local station, and we'll see you from here at halftime.
Monday, you'll never get Tool Supply, where the contractor's choice.
It's a matchup of giant proportions when two of the game's biggest and best players collide. Hakeem Olajuwon, the relentless warrior. Shaquille O'Neal, gifted with unlimited potential. Paired in last year's finals, it was the veteran Hakeem and the Rockets celebrating their second consecutive NBA title, while Orlando's magical season came to a sudden end. Now fueled with a full season of Clyde Drexler and Anfernee Hardaway's emergence to superstardom, it's a renewal of what's become the NBA's hottest new rivalry, the Magic and the Rockets. Next.
Is the NBA on NBC.
And the NBA on NBC continues from the summit in Houston with a matchup of divisional leaders this afternoon. The Atlantic Division leading Orlando Magic against the Midwest Division leaders and defending NBA champion Houston Rockets. Good afternoon, everyone. Talk about renewals. Look at the renewal of this threesome. I'm Greg Gumbel along with Steve Jones and Bill Walton. It is a rematch of the Christmas Day game won by the Orlando Magic 92-90, and of course from the NBA Championship Series. Shaquille O'Neal missed the first 22 games of this season for Orlando with the thumb injury. Steve, you said that was a good thing for Shaquille and for the Magic.
Greg, it was. It was a blessing for the Orlando Magic as a team because they learned how to become a dominant team without him, and for the Orlando Magic great center, it expanded his offensive arsenal. With that injury, he became a more dangerous player, and that is tough on the opponent.
And, of course, it's any measure of a center is how well you play against Hakeem Olajuwon, Bill, who started this season slowly but seems to have come into the Hakeem that we know.
Greg, Hakeem missed the preseason with injuries to his back and his elbow. The first month was a little bit slow for Hakeem by his all-universe standards. But the last 6 weeks, he has resumed his customary leader's role among the significant statistical categories for centers. And in facing Shaquille O'Neal, who is the league's toughest opponent for all big guys, Hakeem, he looks at this as his ultimate challenge. He's ready to go today.
Well, Hakeem Olajuwon, it's always a special day when he plays, even more so today, celebrating his 33rd birthday. How well will he play on his day? We'll find out when we come back.
Of an ice-cold Miller Lite, life is good. By AT&T, your true choice. And by Prudential, live well, make a plan, be your own rock.
A noisy summit in Houston, Texas, as we give you the starting lineups now for this afternoon's game. First of all, for the Orlando Magic. In the backcourt, 6'7", Anfernee Hardaway. Alongside him is the veteran Nick Anderson in his 7th season out of Illinois. Up front, the Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. Dennis Scott on one side. Joe Wolf gets the start in place of the injured Horace Grant. And for the Houston Rockets, coming in 27 wins, 12 losses. In the backcourt, familiar twosome, Kenny Smith at 6'3", Clyde Drexler in his 13th season out of the University of Houston. Hakeem Olajuwon will anchor the middle. Robert Horry back from the injury list on one side, and Chucky Brown at 6'8" on the other. That is Rudy Tomjanovich in his 5th season as the head coach of the Houston Rockets. And the head man for the Orlando Magic is Brian Hill, as Orlando winds down a 5-game, 9-day road trip. They are 1-3. They beat Phoenix, but they've lost in Utah, San Antonio, and Dallas. And a couple of big guys to my side here anticipating this matchup as much as the fans are.
I think this is going to be a terrific game, and I think even though the Houston Rockets have downplayed the importance of the game, they want this game in a big, big way. And for the Orlando Magic, Bill, it's kind of a statement game for them. They got to prove to the nation that they can beat good teams on the road.
The Magic, surprisingly, have not been a good road team in the last 6 months. And the last season, the start of this season, they have got to solve that problem because they are not going to be able to catch the Chicago Bulls. They'll have to win on the road in the playoffs. No time like today to start.
Orlando, a perfect 20-0 at home, but 8-10 on the road. Shaquille O'Neal in the middle, his 13th game this season. Our delay is shot clock went down at one end of the court, but appears to be back up now. We're ready to go. Our officials today, Hugh Evans, Bernie Fryer, and Mark Wunderlich. And the opening tap to the Magic and Joe Wolf.
How do you know where to stand on that new circle they've got out there in center court?
I guess you have to have played the game, Bill. Shaquille with the turnaround.
There is one of the things that's helped Shaquille O'Neal. Now, in past, he would try to work his way across and maybe overpowered, but he's got quickness and a little shake of his own, and he gets the first 2 of the game.
Kenny Smith pops out. This is the 2, and Nick Anderson with the rebound. So many weapons on this Orlando Magic team. Right back at O'Neal, and Olajuwon with the block.
Shaq, 2 jump pass attempts. Stay on the ground when you're going to pass that ball. Jump to shoot.
Drexler on the drive and the reverse.
Drexler is having his best season as a pro. And he's had some unbelievable years up in Portland, but I think this year has been better than ever.
Dennis Scott back outside, and now Anderson down low to O'Neal again. The double team from Smith. Stripped and out of bounds to Houston.
Watch Hakeem jump in the Shaq jump in the air right there. The first pass gets blocked. They may give him 2 shot blocks on that attempt. You know, because Shaq does shoot down a lot.
Hakeem has it taken away from him. Scott recovers, loses it.
Shot clock is still running, so Olajuwon has to get it away and beats the clock. And that shot looked pretty good. It could be a continuation of that 51-point game he had against the Celtics.
Both these teams coming off losses. And 108-106, the Celtics beat Houston here Thursday night. Hardaway inside.
Anfernee Hardaway.
Hakeem's ever so conscious of not picking up fouls on anybody else. When you play against Shaq, you need every single foul on him. Forget about blocking shots on the other guys.
They spent a lot of time yesterday working on this particular play because they know that Shaq doesn't like to come out. So they let Olajuwon set a screen, slide to the corner. The defense reacts, and it's an easy 2 for Hakeem.
6-4 Houston. 9:40 to play, first quarter. From outside, Joe Wolf.
I don't think Houston needs to double down on Dennis Scott when Robert Horry's standing up over the top. I think that's a really good matchup defensively for Rudy Tomjanovich to put Horry on Dennis Scott. Don't double.
Drexler's pass batted away. Hardaway is 1-on-3. Leaves it for Anderson. And the 3 is good.
Nick Anderson is coming off a huge ball game against the Utah Jazz where he shot the ball extremely well. And his shot has been erratic and up and down, so that's a good sign for Brian Hill and Nick Anderson.
He had 9 threes in that game, Steve.
Kenny Smith for 3. And off to Chucky Brown.
Someone should have told him record is 10. He would have shot 1 more.
Drexler's 3 is no good. Neither of these teams will be shy about putting it up from behind the arc.
Good defense, help defense by Chucky Brown, denying Shaq in transition.
Drexler looking for the steal, and it's on the line. It'll go the other way.
One thing that the Orlando Magic don't do enough of is take advantage of their ability to make moves off the dribble. Penny Hardaway, slashing driver that he is able to create and get an early 2.
Hardaway inside, left hand on his roll. And Olajuwon with the rebound.
And there's Robert Horry's presence defensively. Coming over, this is Horry's first game after missing 5 with that sore knee.
No shot.
When Horry plays, it changes the entire complexion of this Houston Rocket team.
Whistle on the play. The foul is on Joe Wolf. His first. 9-6 Orlando. Just under 8.5 to play. Olajuwon from outside. Gets the front rim, and Anderson has the rebound. Shaquille loses it. Drexler 3-on-3. Chucky Brown back to Drexler.
Chucky Brown has fit in beautifully. Remember, he just joined the team about this time last year, so now he's feeling so confident. His reading of guys' moves without the ball is just beautiful.
Hardaway inside, and that looks like a matchup with Kenny Smith. He's really quick to handle this afternoon.
Not only Kenny Smith, but most point guards, because he's got so much size, and that's where Hardaway has helped the Orlando Magic throughout this season. Both teams off to hot shooting starts, and you know, both these coaches like to talk about their defense and the defensive energy. The defense hasn't made a statement yet.
But Steve, you talked about Penny Hardaway posting up. That's why Chicago had to make all those moves in the backcourt. They let B.J. Armstrong go. They bring in Ron Harper. You got to have size in the Eastern Conference to play against Orlando in the backcourt.
Nice move across the middle by Robert Horry. And Orlando's lead is 1 at 11-10. Incidentally, the foul at the other end of the court was Joe Wolf, and it's his second. Scott looking for the foul call, didn't get it, but got the bucket, and Orlando's lead is 3 again at 13-10.
Dennis Scott loves to post up and is incredibly good at it. Robert Horry, though, should not go for pump fakes. He's a little rusty with the weak layoff with those tendonitis in the knees.
Houston takes time with 7:04 to play in the first half. Orlando leading the Rockets 13-10. You are watching the NBA on NBC. A couple of key players missing in action here today. Mario Ellie for the Rockets, and over on the sidelines, Jim Gray is with one key member of the Orlando team. Jim?
Greg, I am with Horace Grant. Horace, you have a stress fracture in your left leg. How long will you be out?
Maybe 2 to 3 more weeks. So, but you know, I'm looking forward to getting back and helping this team win.
Looks like you got a lot of help here behind you to come back, but you were able to play with this injury for 4 weeks. How did you manage that?
Well, a lot of prayer and determination.
Your team has suffered on the road. They've won 8, lost 10. They've won 1 out of 3 on this road trip. Why so poorly on the road?
Well, you know, I guess there's nothing like home cooking, and to be a championship team, we got to learn how to win on the road, and hopefully we can start today.
Horace, feel better.
Thanks a lot. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Greg.
All right, Jim. Dennis Scott moves in. That's rejected by Hakeem, and here come the Rockets. 4-on-2. Chucky Brown on the drive. And the Rockets are within 1 at 13-12. You know, that injury to Horace Grant points up a very important thing for Brian Hill and the Magic. His regular starting lineup of Hardaway, Anderson, Scott, Grant, and O'Neal has started just 4 games so far this season.
Olajuwon is playing like a guy 21 today on his 33rd birthday. He's been real active inside. He hooked that one away. They couldn't get the transition. Nick Anderson, he's got 5 in the quarter.
15-12, Orlando by 3, 6 minutes to play first quarter. Olajuwon with the turnaround on the baseline.
Hakeem had the 51 the other night, and he's looking better today. The rhythm, the aggressiveness, the attacking.
Bill, I know for a fact you weren't here.
I watched that game. I watched that game on my direct TV.
Rockets looking for the lead.
The Rockets are playing at a quicker tempo. They are not trying to wait for the Magic. Every time they get a transition, they're trying to make something happen.
Kenny Smith 3 is off the mark, and here come the Magic. 5:20 to play in the first. Hardaway crossed the lane, gets a shot away, and drew the foul.
A moment ago, Hakeem's going to come from behind his own defensive teammate and slap this ball away. You know you're in a defensive rhythm when that kind of shot goes, and then the ability to just turn without even looking. When Shaq puts his hand on Hakeem there in the low post, that tells Hakeem where the defender is, and he just rolls off of that big hand.
Hardaway at the line to shoot 2 and gets the first. 16-14. Hardaway has 5.
Looking at these two guys, Penny and Shaq, coming into the lead together, getting to the finals so early in their career, really reminiscent of Jerry West and Elgin Baylor, starting out together as very young players, getting to the finals right away, but not being able to get it done.
They don't want to hear that. I mean, you know what happened to that great combination. They don't even know about that.
Yeah, they had to wait for Will.
There's a foul on Shaquille. Sam Cassell is into the game for the Rockets. He is wearing number 10, and another key member of this team who sat out the game in Boston with a concussion.
I think that Sam Cassell is the most unique player on this team because he's the most competitive. He doesn't like to lose, and he's got the kind of game that changes everything for Rudy.
On Wednesday night, the game between the Rockets and the Nuggets, Cassell up for the shot, hit in the head from behind, hit the deck hard, suffered a concussion, told us yesterday, yeah, the headaches are still there, but so's the desire to play.
That's why the little guys have got to stay out of the paint. Pull up and shoot that jumper. They all eventually learn that. Sam's still a very young player.
Ball was tipped out by the Orlando Magic as Drexler was waiting for the defense to open up, and it just went off the hand. Sam Cassell was there, and one official had it the wrong way.
This is a great isolation. Oh, he lost it off of his foot, out of bounds. Houston.
But did you see the execution of that play on the baseline out of bounds? They're going to kick it up high and then isolate Hakeem all by himself. That's beautiful diagramming of set plays out of bounds by Rudy Tomjanovich, an underappreciated coach.
Coming up on 4:20 play in the first, the Magic 17, the Rockets 14.
See, again, in any screening situation, O'Neal thinks about getting back to cover in the hole, so Hakeem is going to get any jump shot opportunity out on the perimeter that he wants.
Down low, O'Neal, one-on-one. The little hook doesn't go, but he will go to the free throw line.
And Hakeem is looking around saying, hey, where is the double team? The strategy for Houston is to double team on the catch. Don't wait for the dribble. But that's two full dribbles and still nobody there. Clyde finally comes at the last minute, but it's way too late. And Shaq able to get so deep.
You know, as big as Shaquille is, when we were talking to Hakeem yesterday afternoon, I asked him, you know, what's tough about playing Shaquille? And he looked at me like I had just arrived from Phoenix.
Shaq's weighing in at 325 right now, which is what Wilt played at the end of his career. That is a lot of beef out there. And the whole idea is to try to keep him away from the basketball. When you're weighing that much, Hakeem is coming in today at 265.
Shaquille, a 50% free throw shooter, misses them both. 4 minutes to play here in the first.
Like Wilt, he has that same affliction at the free throw line, and he's probably not going to get any better. If he doesn't have a season where he can bust it at least 70-75% from the line, he's always going to get fouled under pressure.
Threes aren't dropping quite yet for the Rockets.
I think that Shaq will become a terrific free throw shooter.
Anfernee Hardaway.
Remember how bad Karl Malone was when Karl was 49% his first year, barely 50% for a couple of years. Now he's a top-notch free throw shooter.
But you got to help me understand the parallel here. You've taken me to Utah.
Oh, and Shaquille called for that personal foul. That's 2 on Shaq.
Very bad news for Orlando. They don't have anybody else to play in the front court. With Horace Grant, who usually plays against Hakeem a lot, he's out. John Koncak is out with the hamstring on the injured list.
Now, they have someone over there. You haven't heard of him, David Vaughn. He can come in and play.
He can play.
So, I mean, the problem right now is being able to establish an inside game. Vaughn getting out of his stuff and will report to the scorer's table. O'Neal sits down.
For Shaquille O'Neal.
There actually is a guy sitting over on the Orlando bench who technically is an assistant by the name of Tree Rollins, who has retired for what, about the 5th or 6th time now, and says he won't be back, but you can never tell.
Well, he won't be back today because he's still in street clothes. But if they continue to be concerned about the middle, they may reactivate Tree Rollins.
That foul before the shot.
Greg, I'm surprised that Orlando has not signed another big body, somebody they can just throw out there. Because with Koncak and Horace Grant out and Shaq in foul trouble, there's Tree Rollins, one of the league's all-time shot blockers and foulers.
All the way across court, Dennis Scott for 2. Off the mark, tapped out of bounds by Cassell. It'll be Orlando ball when we come back to the Summit. 2:58 to play in the first. It's Orlando 20 and Houston 14.
It's Thursday for the big game. How do those logos get on the field? Go behind the scenes at Super Bowl 30 next Saturday on NBC.
There's Sam Cassell, as we mentioned, coming back after his concussion last week. And he has been known as a fearless kind of a player, and we asked him yesterday if he's still going to be fearless following his injury.
Got to be. That's the only way I know how to play. The coaching staff, they uptight, I'm uptight, but I think when I get on the court, that the fear will go away because I'm such a competitor that if I got an easy lane to the basket, I got to take it.
Bill?
I think he'll have to start pulling up and shooting that perimeter shot. The only guy that kept coming was Dr. J. I mean, even Rick Barry and Jordan, that they all became perimeter players as their careers went down. Dr. J, he said, I'm dunking. I'm dunking in your face.
I want to make sure what you're saying. Jordan's career has gone down? Is that what you're saying?
It hasn't gone down. It's changed. It's changed. He's now a post-up player and a perimeter player. He's no longer slashing and dunking.
Dennis Scott for three.
Difference in the ball game so far has been the ability of Orlando to make some threes and the Rockets' inability.
The three, a big part of Houston's game, and Drexler misses one there. Tap, whistle blows, foul will go against Orlando. That's on David Vaughn, who has just come off the bench.
There are all kinds of bounces, and most of the times this one stays out, but somehow it managed to stay in the field of play. Olajuwon got hold of it and started a quick transition for the Rockets, which results in a foul against David Vaughn.
This is a key period for Orlando right now, because in the first meeting on Christmas Day, when Shaq and Hakeem went head-to-head, that was 35 minutes on the court together. Orlando outscored them by 16 points when they went head-to-head. In the 7 minutes that Hakeem was out there without Shaq, Houston went up by 19. Huge turnaround when Shaq goes to the bench.
And he is on the bench now. Horry gets them both. Orlando's lead is 4. Horry has 4 on the day. Going to go right back to Penny down low.
Well, this is their best matchup out on the floor, and he can make things happen out of it. They get an illegal defense.
Illegal defense
against Olajuwon.
Against Houston. Violation against Robert Horry.
First of the day, a warning against Houston.
A technical foul.
2:03 to play in the first.
What the Orlando Magic learned when O'Neal wasn't there, that they could post up Nick Anderson, Dennis Scott, or Anfernee Hardaway and get an opportunity to score and kind of keep their inside-outside game intact. Hardaway looking for a screen.
Takes the long three. No. Rebound. Horry. Long outlet for Olajuwon. Tapped by Hardaway. Saved by Hardaway.
Too much of a gamble. Play it straight here. Play it simple. Pound it inside.
Dennis Scott for three.
3-point basket, Dennis Scott.
5 for Dennis Scott. 23-16. Orlando by 5. And Hakeem comes back on the baseline.
He's got that kind of balance. Just get the ball to Hakeem every time. He just makes one move. That doesn't work, makes another move. He has no idea where he's going until the defense just collapses, and then he delivers.
That is supposed to be their game plan when they get set and in a half court. The Rockets making the extra pass, but they don't finish that three-point attempt.
Back come the Rockets, looking to cut into the Orlando lead. Tapped away by Anderson. Cassell on the drive. He said if he saw his lane open, he would take it, and he did.
I'm surprised that a guy like Turner or Vaughn doesn't take a hard foul on him. Guy's already playing with one concussion.
Vaughn.
Are we talking football or basketball here?
The Super Bowl's next week.
Horry, Mark Bryant. Under a half minute to play, and Houston has moved to within 1.
The difference in the team has been transition, and the Rockets are a better transition team from defense to offense, and the Orlando Magic are a team that say they want to run, but haven't done that much running.
A double team right here. Get it out of Penny's hand. Get it out of his hand. Get it out of Nick Anderson's hand. Let Vaughn and Turner beat you.
Hardaway back outside. Jeff Turner doesn't get it up in time. And there's 4.1 to play in the first.
That's the same shot that Anfernee Hardaway used and same type of move he used to win the game in Orlando. That time they made him give it up, and I don't think anyone knew how much time was left on the shot clock. Sam Cassell.
Cassell on the drive, and it rejected. And not a bad first quarter play comes to an end. The Orlando Magic 23 and Houston 22, largely on the efforts of Anfernee Hardaway, who has 9 points and 3 assists, 3 quarters to play. We're coming back to the Summit in Houston in just a moment.
But the coach, I think, still wants you back. we want him to play. There's no question. He's not a person. Marcus, thanks for joining us. We're glad you're okay, and we hope to see you in action soon, okay?
All right, thank you.
Marcus Camby calling from Pittsburgh, and he's a great kid. Let's fire up the scoreboard for Marcus.
With a
afternoon.
This is the NBA on NBC.
Welcome back to the Summit in Houston, along with Bill Walton and Steve Jones.
Great to be here, Steve. And Greg.
23-22, Orlando by 1. As we start the second quarter, Shaquille comes off the bench, and how has he fared against Hakeem Olajuwon?
The numbers are for Hakeem, but Shaq's team in the lead, and Shaq's team had a much bigger lead while he was in there, and that was the same story that we had down in Orlando on Christmas Day.
Well, let's see if it comes to the other end of the floor that the Orlando Magic start pounding that ball into O'Neal, because Mark Bryant is now the center of note for the Houston Rockets. Rockets in this situation like to go to Drexler, but they come to Mark Bryant.
Mark Bryant goes to the hook, and the Rockets in the lead, 24-23.
This is a terrific offseason pickup, Mark Bryant, for Rudy Tomjanovich and the Rockets. A big guy that can bang, that can score, that can rebound, play defense.
The hope was he would be their starting power forward, but he's been hit with a lot of nagging injuries, just starting to get his game back. They're going to double team Shaq every time the ball goes inside.
Jeff Turner for 3.
Now, one thing that Jeff Turner can do is spot up and shoot, and they cannot afford to give Turner any life, because if he starts making shots, he's going to be a factor in the ballgame.
Why is Turner doubling Mark Bryant down low?
Bryant again, and Shaquille, that'll be a goal there.
That's why. He can score it.
Well, I guess they want to make him pass the ball so Shaq doesn't pick up another foul. But Shaq, watch him reach in and try to slap it away the first time. What quickness by Shaq to be able to slap down low and still block.
Brian Shaw into the game, drives the lane, scores. Brian Shaw in his 7th year out of UC Santa Barbara. 2-point lead for Orlando. And there's an offensive foul.
Sam is the only guy in the league who wants every call. He leads with the off arm and thinks that he's going to get away with it, and says to Hugh, you can't make that call.
That's the second personal on Sam Cassell. Magic with the ball in a 2-point lead. Shaquille. And he's fouled before he got the shot off.
It's a very tough call against Mark Bryant, who just stands there. One forearm in the back is fine, and then he just runs over him. I'd call that an offensive foul or steps.
Well, that's the Diesel. That's when, you know, and he's going to use his size inside, a little spin move. That one was an example of how he's improved as a player, even though the shot didn't go in.
Anderson's 3 is not good. Rebound off to Anthony Bowie. Mark Bryant complains. Brian Shaw gets the shot off. Chilcutt with the rebound. 26, Orlando by 2, and the whistle blows and it travels.
Timeout on the floor.
It's a bit of a track meet with 9:59 to play in the first half, and Orlando by 2.
Jordan and the Bulls take on Barkley and the Suns. Super Sunday on NBC. To you by Oldsmobile. By Bud Light, official sponsor of the 1996 Olympic Summer Games. Make it a Bud Light. And by DirecTV. It's personalized TV.
Back at the Summit in Houston, Hakeem Olajuwon getting a breather on the bench.
Hakeem starts his month-long religious fast tomorrow. He was really happy that this game came today so he could eat this morning before the game. The day games during that fasting month so very difficult. He normally loses 10 to 15 pounds during that month-long period.
Never seems to affect his game, though.
But he gets tired. Remember, he had that stomach disorder last year that came right on the heels of that fasting session.
Tim Bro has entered the ball game for the first time. The Rockets got a small team out there as a result of it. Shaq just overpowers Mark Bryant.
Tim Bro got the start here against Boston Thursday night in the wake of the injuries to both Robert Horry and Sam Cassell. And now Hakeem going to check back in at the next whistle.
I like the way, oh, beautiful slip pass.
And Mark Bryant goes to the other side. Mark Bryant has 8 points. 30 to 28, Orlando.
Greg Drexler is biding his time now. He's playing beautifully in every aspect of the game. Hasn't been scoring too much.
That's a travel on Shaquille. Let's go back to Mark Bryant.
They come to the high pick and roll, and he quickly slips, and Shaq just doesn't get it done defensively, but the nice read by Drexler.
But they made a better reaction knowing that they like to jam them on the pick and roll, so they never let it happen, just to brush on the screen and go to the basket.
You see the points off turnovers. Orlando turns the ball over an average of 14 times a game. They have 7 already today.
They're letting Mark Bryant go to work against Turner down on the low box.
Cassell's long-range shot no good. Mark Bryant with the rebound. Cassell lost it going up. Brian Shaw with the ball.
Sometimes you got to think about passing the ball a little bit.
Steal, Olajuwon.
Cassell leads the charge. Drexler down the lane and rolled it in.
He cut that ball with his wrist. Put the reverse spin on it. Clyde Drexler heading to the All-Star game.
We're tied at 30. On the baseline, Shaquille O'Neal. And Shaq has 6.
These teams are similar in that they like to go inside first and make the defense react. They're going to double-team Olajuwon now.
Cassell down the lane, kicks it outside, but drew the foul down the middle. Let's go back to that nice little move that Bill Walton thought was such a dandy.
Keep your eye on Clyde's hand and the delivery, the slice at the last minute. Looked like the ball was going to go to the far side of the glass, but it hung on the rim and came back, and then Shaq right back with the jump hook.
But remember, a year ago, we weren't seeing those kinds of moves from Shaquille O'Neal. And I really believe that you get an injury, you make some adjustments, and he's made a lot of them for the best for his team and himself.
Cassell with the fake and the bucket. Nice pass from Hakeem.
Steve, Shaq is still playing with a plastic device on his thumb underneath that heavy taping. He'll have to wear that the whole rest of the season, but he can't grip the ball as well.
Well, that keeps him from dunking. I really think it makes him a better player. Rockets on the run.
Cassell to Drexler, fouled by Shaw.
When the ball goes to Hakeem Olajuwon in the low post on the right side of your screen, at the top, Sam Cassell is going to slice right down the lane because everybody's got their eye on Hakeem Olajuwon all the time.
That's basic basketball, and we don't see enough of it where people cut to the basket. The most dangerous area to be in is around the basket.
I'd like to go back to the point you made about the dunking and the hand. Remember when Alcindor was in college and they made the rules that you could not dunk in high school or college basketball. And as we look at Shaq's heavily taped thumb, that certainly made Alcindor, now Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, a much more effective player.
Yeah, you caught a few of those skyhooks, didn't you?
I caught a lot more than a few, Steve. He went for 50 regularly.
Rockets by 2, 34-32, under 7.5 to play here in the first half. Hardaway down the lane, scoops it up, doesn't go. Rebound, O'Neal.
Nice little drop in by O'Neal. He's got a rhythm going. He's got 6 1/4, 8 in the ball game. So if he can stay in the game, he really changes things for the Orlando Magic, and it's tied now.
Time to turn and face and drive to the hoop. Give him some space there. It's too crowded for him.
Triple team. Cassell, top of the key. Drexler outside the line for 3. In and out, tap no good, tapped again no good. And O'Neal with a rebound.
Houston big men, Hakeem and Robert Horry are tipping the ball rather than grabbing it and going right back over the. You draw fouls that way.
Hardaway draws a foul here, and we'll have a stop and play with 6:41 to play. This is the NBA on NBC. The final round of the Bob Hope Chrysler Classic. Mark shot over Payne Stewart and John Houston and Jeff Maggart. Final round coverage of the Bob Hope Chrysler Classic coming your way next here on NBC.
What a beautiful setting there in Palm Springs. The weather just perfect. I'm a little surprised Dr. J's not out there. He might get there by the end of the day.
Well, with the good doctor in our studio in New York, unlike you.
Well, the score is a little bit too low for Dr. J, but that's a terrific tournament. They all like to play in it early in the golf season.
Hardaway. Outside and lost.
The line, rocket ball.
Pretty decent defense by Rick Kasner that time, just in the ball game for Rudy Tomjanovich.
Hardaway thought he was going to get a foul here as Robert Horry comes down and he bounces into Horry. He thought he should have gotten a whistle, and he just casually threw the ball out of bounds.
Eldridge Rickasner wearing number 3 for Houston, a second-year man out of Washington. And Sam Cassell.
That's what makes Sam Cassell so valuable to Rudy, in that he is herky-jerky, he penetrates, he breaks down defenses, which Kenny Smith cannot do.
Anthony Bowie.
Bowie is a shooter, and he's also a guy that if he can get his feet set, get a rhythm, he's going to be in the game the entire afternoon.
Orlando's really been stroking threes on this road trip. They've been shooting 45% the last 3 games from behind the line.
Robert Horry. Hakeem. Too open, too easy.
He was surprised that he got that ball, I think.
Well, Brian made a good decision. Normally, Hakeem, likes to get a little shake, and he didn't do anything, went right up and just missed the shot. The Magic on a little bit of a run. They hit their last 3 possessions. Joe Wolf knocks that one in. So they're shooting the ball well.
And they lead it by 2, 38-36. Houston, meanwhile, 0 for 9 in three-pointers so far this afternoon.
Yet they're still right there.
Rick Kasner has it batted away and saved by Hardaway.
Hardaway's made 2 tremendous athletic saves, one earlier on a break against Olajuwon, and then this block, and that tells you that Penny wants this game.
Tapped by Brian Shaw.
And that's the problem that Shaquille O'Neal presents to every team. You've got to put so much time and effort put into boxing Shaq out that the little guards can come in and just tap those little short misses in.
Olajuwon had it stripped, got it back outside. Cassell for 3, the first 3 of the day for the Rockets.
Cassell's also playing with a very badly bruised left shoulder besides that concussion.
Rockets 1 out of 11. Look at the pass. Beautiful pass. And foul on the baseline is Anthony Bowie. Let's go back to that defensive play by Anfernee Hardaway.
Kasner thought he had all day with this jump shot, and the quick reaction of Hardaway, one, to get to it, and then to find it, to make the save, got Orlando going the other way.
2 fouls on Hakeem Olajuwon. Hardaway with a good look down low for Joe Wolf.
Every time somebody cuts to the basket, it's there for both teams because they've gotten the centers out of the play, both 4 1/4.
Short guards are not effective against Orlando.
Horry for 3, off the mark. O'Neal with the board. And once again, down low to Hardaway.
They're going to go,
Kasner.
and Hardaway just overpowers him, and able to get back and get to the rim. He is a real quick jumper because that ball was at the rim. He was back there to get the save.
Here's number 22, Clyde.
Foul is on Robert Horry. That's his first. Take another look.
But Steve, you cannot allow a guy to post up, just turn in the lane, and then come right over your back. You got to take something away from him. Rick Kasner, the decent player, but been playing well in limited time due to injuries here.
Number 1, Anfernee Hardaway at the line for 2 shots.
Anfernee Hardaway, 9 points, 6 assists, make it 10 now. Talk about a guy who's picked up his game of late. His first 2 years, 18 points, 4.8 rebounds. This season, up to 24.7, due in no small part to Shaquille's absence the first part of this year.
But he's also a much better player, Greg. The confidence that comes with years in the league now, this being Penny's 3rd year, plus the weight training that both he and Shaq have adopted here, that will be critical factors for the rest of their careers.
Shot clock down to 8. Cassell directing traffic. Clock is at 5. Taken away. Scott has it. Hardaway on the drive, had it stripped away by Clyde Drexler.
Both ends, you see some marvelous hands defense. You know, a lot of times people say the players don't move their feet and they don't make it happen. Now Drexler is waiting for Penny to show the ball, and he does, and knocks it right out of his hand.
Remember last year in the finals, Orlando had absolutely no answer for Clyde Drexler. Clyde's got 8 points in the game today. He just hasn't had that special impact that he's had virtually throughout the season.
Shaw gets the roll.
Ryan Shaw.
Shaw has hurt the Rockets off the bench, but Sam Cassell took his first hard hit of the afternoon and didn't go out, so I think he feels like he's all right, and he will be playing with that fearless aggressiveness.
And Cassell drew the foul from Hardaway.
This is why little guys need to stay away from the basket area. And you run into the big man there.
That hurts. 2:51 to play. First half. We're coming back.
Close game in Toronto between the expansion Raptors and the Celtics. Right now, the Magic leading the Rockets 45-39 as we send you back to the Summit to rejoin Greg, Bill, and the Snapper.
All right, Bob, only 2 jerseys retired in the history of Houston Rockets basketball. That of
Father Murphy's life. A week ago, his wife, Phyllis, killed in a tragic car accident here. Just so sad. And I was with Calvin early this week, and it's really hit him hard. But everybody in the NBA has been calling him and trying to boost him up, and we know Calvin will be popping right back up there. But just so sad.
We contribute our best wishes to Calvin as well. 2:45 to play. First half. Magic 45, Rockets 39. Mark Bryant. Turnaround. Ori fouled from behind.
Magic foul number 3.
That's on Dennis Scott, and that's his first.
Good foul because Robert Horry was right at the basket. If he gets control of this, he goes back up. Dennis Scott, realizing that, comes through the body, so it's out on the side and a new 24. Let's see if the Rockets reestablish Olajuwon. He had 8 points in the first quarter, had a great rhythm, hasn't been able to get going since he re-entered the game.
He's going right at O'Neal now, gets it back outside. Drexler for 3.
This is the unit, though, for Houston. It is quite possibly their best unit, with Bryant and Cassell off the bench, replacing Chucky Brown and Kenny Smith. Oh,
Brian Shaw drills the 3. The Magic 5 of 11 in 3-pointers. Houston 1 for 13, now 1 for 14. Back outside. And whistle blows down low in the battle between Wolf and Mark Bryant.
Offensive foul is called on Houston's number 2.
And the foul is on Mark Bryant.
The Houston Rockets game plan, and we saw it earlier, was to attack O'Neal. They have gone away from that, and Rudy is trying to refocus his team. And if he can just survive this next 2 minutes without seeing his team fall down too dramatically, I'm sure we're going to see that at the start of the third quarter. But right now, they got to get back into their transition game and score some easy hoops, and then come back to Olajuwon in a half court.
Orlando outscoring Houston 14-3 in the last 4:20. Can't control it. Dennis Scott for 3. And Olajuwon with the rebound. Minute 35 to play. Drexler on the drive, set up by Cassell.
Now they missed the last one because too many guys trying to get to the ball. They forced a turnover but can't control it. But they've been the better team in the break, and they've got to try to stay with that, and that means their defense has to be aggressive, force some turnovers.
Greg, Houston looks flat to me. 5 weeks ago, they played a perfect basketball game against Sacramento at Sacramento. Ever since then, they've been almost a 500 team. They just don't seem to be as sharp as they need to be.
Hardaway missed his stuff. Beautiful move. Everything was right except it didn't go down. Cassell on the drive draws the foul from Joe Wolf. Let's go back to the baseline at the other end where everything goes well for Hardaway except the end result.
The best thing to do is to leave him alone. He just threw it off the back of the iron and missed it, and it resulted in Sam Cassell sprinting the other way and getting to the free throw line. But one thing that the Houston Rockets have had to endure since that Sacramento game, Clyde Drexler goes down for 2 weeks. Right. Now they lose Ellie. The in-between they lost Ori. This team has had more of those nagging, take guys out of the lineup that's knocked off their rhythm, but Rudy doesn't use it as an excuse. He said, you know, this happens to every team. We got to play through. And to their credit, they're still on the lead or close to it in the Western Conference. Olajuwon comes out for the final 113. The question for Brian Hill is, does he get Shaq out of the ball game, or do we come right back down and try to get a couple of quick points over the next 2 or 3 possessions?
He's got a 5-point lead as we come up on a minute to play in the first half. Hardaway for O'Neal. Didn't quite get it. Here come the Rockets. Cassell on the drive. Did he lose it? It was batted out of bounds by Orlando. Let's go back to the lob for O'Neal.
Orlando's last 2 possessions have been 2 missed dunks. Penny and now Shaq right here.
In for Charles Jones.
Couldn't quite get control of it, but as well, Charles Jones slid the body up against him. Olajuwon comes back in, and you can't figure out who's coming out, whether O'Neal is coming out or Jeff Turner. O'Neal stays. And let's see if they power the ball back inside to Olajuwon, try to get that 3rd foul.
50 seconds to play.
Whatever the play is, what Sam Cassell is going to do first is find out whether somebody's going to guard him, and you have to like that.
Team with the hook over Shaquille, 48-45.
That jump hook is the basis of Hakeem's whole game. You got to deliver that early, make him respect it, make him take it away, and then everything else opens up.
Shaquille, good look for Hardaway.
Anfernee Hardaway from Shaquille O'Neal.
Good look away that time. Shaq with the no-look pass froze the defense on the weak side, and Houston will play for 1.
But he has become a better passer in recognizing where double teams are coming from.
He's got a lot better teammates now, too.
Just 1 second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. Olajuwon, Ori, fakes once, out of the corner. And that's the half.
That's the end of the first half of play. Our score, the Orlando Magic 50 and the Houston Rockets 45.
2 heavyweights slugging it out. Division leaders. They are 5 points apart at halftime. At the break, Orlando 50, the Houston Rockets 45. We'll be back with the Prudential halftime report right after this.
It begins.
Went up from the first year, rookie season, to the second year, and then taken to the next level in the next year. And when I went home, I worked out on the weights real hard, and then worked on my jump shot and free throws and everything, and tried to be prepared to come back this season.
You've said before that you want to be the best, right?
Definitely. I'm going to feel that way until I get to that level to where people are saying, when they mention my name, they say he's the best player on this level. That's where I want to get.
You say you want to be the best, yet you have to defer to Shaquille.
You don't have to be the best by scoring points. I can do other things. You know, I can rebound, block shots, assist the ball. I can score points also. I mean, I don't have to just do one certain thing to be the best. You're the best when you can do everything.
How do you do that? How do you dedicate yourself to the team like that?
Well, I want to win, and that's our go-to guy, Shaquille. And we go into him, everything starts with him, and we go from there. You know, we have no jealousy amongst each other. We're good friends. I mean, you just have to realize that if everybody takes their role on the team, then that's how you win.
I've seen you probably lower your head more than you've raised your fist or thumped on your chest like most young guys do today.
You're right. Well,
what makes you that way?
I don't know, just stay humble. You know, stay on myself so it'll make me work harder. If I go out there and and think everything's okay all the time, then there's nothing else for me to learn. And I can't worry about going out there and dancing and boasting and showing off like that. I still have too much work to do.
You know, Charles Barkley told me the other day that you are now in that category, that Magic, Bird, Jordan, himself. Do you know you're there?
I don't think so. I think I'm my toughest critic, and I have a long ways to go. I still make too many mistakes right now. You know, in my third year, I'm still trying to get better. But for him to say that, it means a lot to me. But I don't think I'm on that level at all right now.
What was going through your mind when you were playing Jordan first time this year, and you were out playing him?
Well, it's just one of those things where I just tried to jump on him before he jumped on me. You know, I tried to be the aggressor in every game that we play against those guys because he's going to be the aggressor. You just have to counter everything that you're thinking about he's going to do because he's already proven, and you're trying to prove yourself. So I'm just out there just trying to play hard.
Didn't it go through your mind, though, hey, I'm getting the best out of Michael Jordan?
Not at all.
No,
not really.
You're way above that already.
Not really.
Okay.
Not at all. I mean, he's the best. You know, that's the guy that I really look up to. And, you know, every time I play him, I'm just going to try to give him a good show.
You told me last year during the playoffs that you wanted to be feared as a player, and now you are.
I like to walk inside the arenas and the point guard, think, how am I going to play Anfernee Hardaway? He likes to post up. If he's making jump shots, then how am I going to play him? Because you can't stop him inside or outside. Or, you know, I just want the whole team or the coaching staff to just be watching film after film after film, trying to figure out how to play me, and then that just lets me know that I'm well respected.
Will you ever be satisfied with your game?
I doubt it. If I'm averaging triple-double every game, I'm going to find something wrong.
Well, he's got 12 points in this first half on 4 of 10, 6 assists, 2 rebounds. Nice line. No doubt he's among the best players already. How close to the best, his ultimate goal, is he?
Well, I think only he would know that, and he's working on the things that will make him that much better. He went home this summer. He bulked up so he could take more punishment, dish out more punishment, worked on his outside shot more, and the coaching staff tells me he's working on his defense more. I just wish I had taken it one step further with him when I asked him about being the best, because he told the Orlando Sentinel the other day that the way people say about Michael Jordan that he is the best, when he retires, when Penny Hardaway retires, he wants everybody to say he was the best.
Well, here he is from the locker room. Ask your follow-up and get back to us. Quick observation?
Unfinished business.
Hang on for Pete, Penny. I know you got a game, but just hang on. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, you know, when Moses Malone came to Philly, he said it's Doc's show, but maybe with me here it'll be a better show. And that's exactly what happened in Orlando. Shaq was there. Penny came in. It is a better show in Orlando. I think they can coexist, and both of them can get top billing. And Penny, because of the pound-for-pound status, probably at some point in time will be the best guy in basketball pound for pound, but not playing next to a guy who weighs 325 pounds.
Yes, operator, we will take a collect call from Mr. A. Hardaway, but very briefly.
I thought Anthony Mason was best pound for pound. Dribble.
Yes. The Magic leading the Rockets by 5, and I think we stretched this bit about as far as it can go. We'll send it back to Houston for the second half, thankfully, after these messages from your local station.
This has been the Prudential Halftime Report, brought to you by Prudential. Live well, make a plan, be your own rock. Tonight, this is the NBA on NBC.
Back at the Summit in Houston, our halftime score, Orlando 50 and the Houston Rockets 45. Welcome back, everyone. Greg Gumbel along with Bill Walton and Steve Jones. The Rockets are down by 5. What's Houston's Rockets problem so far, Bill?
Greg, the biggest problem is that they're just flat. They're not sharp. There's very little 2- and 3-player interchanges of passing. They just don't look like they're on that edge that they need to be. Plus, they're bricking from behind the line. They can't make those. I think it's time to maybe get rid of the 3-point shot and play some more team basketball. Plus, you cannot lose at home on Hakeem's birthday. They got to take care of business today.
Meanwhile, Steve, if you're Brian Hill, I think you're pretty happy if you're leading by 5 at halftime and Shaquille has 8 points and 6 rebounds.
Grinning from ear to ear would be the best way to put it, because they were able to get O'Neal into the ball game, but Brian Shaw comes off the bench, gives them a big punch, but they also found an attack slashing to the basket. So they're going to try to continue that and then get O'Neal some numbers. And if they keep the pressure on in the interior defense, they have a chance to win this ball game and maybe turn their road record and season around.
Well, look at the Miller Lite halftime stats will give you some idea as to why it's a 5-point lead for the Orlando Magic. The Magic shooting 51% from the floor, led by Anfernee Hardaway, who has 12 points on 4 of 10 shooting. And the long-range game, which is such a big factor in the Houston Rockets offense, just isn't there so far. Houston just 1 out of 15 from three-point lane. We're coming back from second half action of the Summit in just a moment. The Magic lead at 50-45.
Party in my house? Party? I'm just sitting here reading the book. Caught the game last night. Let me just put it this way. You're the best player in the NBA. I mean, those spin moves and the dunks. Oh, too delicious. I had to go outside and do some Tai Chi just to calm myself down.
Man, you weren't having a party. I swear. If you and your sloppy friends are messing up my house...
Oh, thanks, baby. Meet me by the pool.
Hello?
Hey, I can't talk now. I'm driving through a tunnel.
Extraordinarily different coaches, one great rivalry. The best team in the business takes on the year's biggest game. Plus football's Albert Achievement Awards. The Steelers, the Cowboys, Super Bowl 30. Coverage begins next Sunday at 3:30 Eastern on NBC.
Getting ready for the start of the third quarter here. Orlando leading Houston by a score of 50-45. Let's check in with Jim Gray now.
Rudy, the guys out on the bench commented that maybe the Rockets are a little flat today. Are they, and what did you say at halftime?
Well, we're missing opening shots. We're 1 for 15 from the three-point line, and we got to take care of the ball. They've made some. They made a better percentage. That seems to be the difference in the game.
Will you tell them to keep shooting the threes?
Well, I'd like us to shoot the threes off the offense. I don't like the pull-up three, but the three after we throw it in and spot up.
Rudy, thanks for your time. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Back out to you, Greg.
All right, Jim, and what Rudy Tomjanovich sounds like he's saying is make it natural and not force the three.
He is saying that, but if one of those pull-ups goes in, you'll see him like it a whole lot better. I mean, they have had wide-open opportunities, and the ball hasn't gone in. I think he has to feel good that they're as close as they are when you shoot 6% from the three-point line.
And one of Rudy's real strengths is that he never knocks his team publicly. He does all that stuff behind closed doors. Hakeem, just 2 free throw attempts. Oh, great block by Nick Anderson to open it up. I think Hakeem needs to get to that line more, put some more pressure on Orlando's defense.
Hardaway, turnaround on the baseline, doesn't go. Rebound snatched by Chucky Brown.
And Greg, another thing, Clyde Drexler, 4 for 4 from inside 3 in the first half, 0 for 5 from behind the line.
Here's Olajuwon with the turnaround to get things started for Houston here in the second half. The Magic by 3.
But again, those three-point misses for most of the Rockets, including Drexler, have been wide open, and you know, they've just got to make some shots, and if they don't make them, then they've got to go with a 2-point attack and run the ball up the floor.
Shaquille with the turnaround. And O'Neal has 10. Remember, Orlando, with all its troubles on the road, has just 1 road victory this season against a team with a winning record, and that being Detroit, with their loss today to Chicago, 19-18.
And I think that they have to feel good, the Houston Rockets, that is, in that the Orlando Magic had a 16-point lead against the Utah Jazz, let it all get away from them and lost the ball game going away. So they know that the Magic can collapse down the stretch.
Kenny Smith, 0 points in the first half for Kenny.
Taken away by Orlando. Tough defensive pressure on Smith. Scott to Nick Anderson for 3.
And Nick Anderson is a birthday boy as well. He started off like Olajuwon. Last night was his birthday, 28. Hasn't been able to get back that hot start that he had.
Drexler fouled by Scott.
Steve, what'd you get for Nick for his birthday?
Well, he likes goals and things like that. I have put in a special order, but we go back at O'Neal and notice, again, the extension and the ability to get that big body moving. And he says he has moves, and that's just one of the many, and he was practicing all of that before the game, so he knew that he was going to have to use a lot of his tricks against the line.
You have to remember, Steve is a plastic kind of guy.
Oh, you mean credit cards? He uses his credit cards all the time?
No, I didn't mean that.
Oh.
Drexler hits 2 out of 2 from the line. Orlando 52, Houston 49.
Did not overlook the incredible year that Clyde Drexler is having. He has been one of the most exciting and entertaining players of anyone in the NBA this year.
Shaquille, jump hook.
Too easy. Shaq's starting to get a little feel because they're giving him room to work. Back-to-back hoops for him. Now, the way you balance that out is to come back to your center on the other end of the floor, see if they go back to some play for Olajuwon.
Last 2 times down court, the double team that was there for Shaquille in the first half has not been there. Olajuwon. Around and out, tapped back outside, and out of bounds to Houston. Let's go back to Shaquille.
Shaq learning from Hakeem, the youngster from the veteran, that shot right there, that will make everything else open up totally. I think Houston is playing a little bit too much of, hey, let's just hang on and win it at the end rather than blasting throughout.
Drexler out of the corner, got it. 14 for Drexler. 54-51 Orlando by 3.
You have to make a decision earlier, and if you don't, this happens, and he's shaking his head.
And again, no double team on Shaquille.
You got to get there early. That's the strategy for Rudy Tomjanovich. Double team on the catch.
Olajuwon.
But now we see both centers just go back and forth. I like what Shaq's doing. Shaq's using some of Hakeem's moves here. The shake, the spin off the bump defensively.
So I asked you, who would have won the one-on-one competition that didn't take place over the summer?
That's why I was going to it. That's why I bought it.
Well,
I didn't know.
Shaquille around and out, tap, grabbed by Olajuwon. Here come the Rockets, 3-on-1. Drexler for Brown. The Rockets within 1.
Getting back defensively has been a problem for the Magic this afternoon, and there was real evidence it was a 3-on-1. They double O'Neal. Mistake.
Drexler behind the back and foul. Second personal on Anfernee Hardaway.
Before Drexler, this team never used to be able to get cheap, easy baskets. Since then, not only can Clyde do it himself, but he can do it for Chucky Brown, Pete Chilcutt, Mark Bryant, or anybody else that runs the floor with him.
I will tell you, Hakeem Olajuwon got 51 in the Thursday night loss to Boston, and it was a tremendous comeback by the Rockets, but it was Drexler's play that sparked that comeback.
He's supposed to be old.
He's an 8-time All-Star. This is Clyde's 13th year. I think he's sharper physically, and he's passing the ball so beautifully, Greg. I mean, this is a much different team than he played on up in Portland.
Rockets by 1.
See what Robert Horry said, hey, I think in that situation, Horry, who's just got one foul, just grab him, jump on him the way they used to do Will.
No hesitation by Olajuwon, just up and over, and it's a 1-point lead again for Houston. 7:20 to play, 59-58 Rockets.
An 8-6 matchup with O'Neal having a 2-point advantage, but they're going to make the defense react to the big fella every time now.
Scott.
How do you force? How do you explode? And Drexler driving it out again.
Drexler open and surprised Olajuwon.
Well, he really was looking at Chucky Brown, and Chucky was open, but the defense of the Magic just intercepted.
Scott fouled by Kenny Smith.
Shaquille O'Neal gets great position, and the best thing to do is to give him the 2, because you're going to need Robert Horry later on.
Just have a camera, take a picture.
T-shirts and bumper stickers.
Kaylin, are you sure you still want to go through with this?
Well, of course I'm sure. This was all your idea. Are you having second thoughts?
Well, there was some opposition at the meeting last night.
I thought no one else wanted the job.
Well, they didn't. Not until you did.
Were 2 of the most heavily...
That doesn't make sense.
Not even the sacks?
Maybe next time, sweetie. I have a lot of things to do.
On NBC is brought to you by Toyota and their full line of quality cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. By Nike, who encourages you to participate in the lives of America's youth. And by the Pepsi-Cola Company, who reminds you that nothing else is a Pepsi.
The Summit is rocking as the Rockets have come back from a 5-point deficit at halftime to take a 1-point lead with 6:48 to play in this quarter. 8 points for Shaquille, 6 for Olajuwon. But the problem, Bill, is that Shaquille O'Neal's 8 points represents the entire scoring output so far here in the third for Orlando.
And if Houston can keep that trend going, the rest of the Orlando Magic, they'll get out of their game. They won't have a feel for the ball. And by the end, Shaq is not going to continue that torrid pace there, and the rest of the guys will have no touch.
Number 3 for the Magic.
Dennis Scott goes to the line to shoot 2.
You've said a lot of glowing things about Clyde Drexler, and we haven't mentioned this guy's best season. Dennis Scott, who's been much maligned since coming out of Georgia Tech. His numbers are up in every category. 3-point field goals, a dramatic increase there as well, on a pace to break what he did a year ago.
You said yesterday, Steve, he's just a different guy this year.
He is, yeah. Not only it lost weight and physically is more involved in the game, but Dennis Scott is able to show that he's got more than just one shot, and the confidence is there where it hasn't been.
Hakeem, top of the key, no. Loose ball picked off by Chucky Brown, taken away and knocked out of bounds by Anderson.
Dennis Scott at this time last year wasn't even a factor. He was coming off the bench and playing very inconsistent minutes. Oftentimes, Coach Brian Hill would just give him a DNP.
Well, he doesn't think about that now. I mean, and every player has to have an opportunity. Royal breaks an ankle, has problems at the start of the season. Shaq goes down. They have to have Dennis Scott, and he delivers. Shot clock at 11.
Chucky Brown, right at his man, lost it. Shot clock at 5. Drexler, too long, out of bounds.
Didn't hit the rim.
To Orlando.
No reset. Give Joe Wolf some defensive credit there for jumping out off the screens and denying guys.
6 minutes to play here in the third. The Magic with the ball. They're up by 1.
Hakeem just too late to respond that time. Shaq is moving nicely without the ball right now, and Hakeem is waiting until he catches before he starts to play defense. That's too late.
Shaquille has 18. Hakeem looking for shooting room.
3-second violation.
3-second violation against Houston. Let's go back to Shaq.
Well, they're interchanging the ball out in front, but it was that weak side flash by Shaq, and Hakeem just lets him get that position. You got to battle him, deny him. Problem is, when you deny him, they just throw it over the top and he grabs it.
How much did you say he weighed?
Shaq, 325.
How much does Hakeem weigh?
265.
Who's going to win that?
Dennis Scott for 3.
Is that kind of like Nate Newton going against somebody?
Nate Newton. I don't know who that is.
I thought you threw football. Cowboy.
Well, while you guys...
I'm an AFC guy.
While you guys are going back and forth, Joe Wolf just drew his 4th personal foul in an area that finds the Orlando Magic already shorthanded in.
Well, without contact, without Horace Grant, now they've got to come with Turner, who's already missed 30 games this year with the knee surgery and that he had at the start of this season. Remember, Jeff's been plagued by the knees virtually the last 2 and 3 years.
62-59, Magic by 3 as we come up on 5 minutes to play in the third.
They like to make that one more pass, and Robert Horry wasn't in the corner, so they're going to come back to Olajuwon.
And Chucky Brown with the rebound.
Greg, Houston really misses Mario Elliott.
Kenny Smith, no. Turner with the board. Up ahead, Hardaway.
Fine defense by Drexler.
Anderson doesn't go. Out of bounds to Orlando.
Robert Horry tried to tip that ball to Olajuwon, caught him by surprise, so they miss a good chance to shut down the Magic, who will now set up. Now, if you're Orlando, you got to come back to O'Neal. He's got 10 in the quarter, only missed 1 chance here in the third quarter.
Good defensive play by Drexler. Smith going to drive it down the lane and draw the foul. Two teams that are pretty good shooting the three are not going to look back on this day with any pride, at least not so far.
Oh, no, one is. I made more than you. I mean, the Rockets have not been able to get it established. You see that they're amongst the league leaders in made three-point shots, but the Rockets live and die by it. I have seen the Rockets just stand around and set up that three-point shot, and it looks like you say, go play a different game, and suddenly they'll make 2 or 3 three-point shots, and it changes the complexion of the game for them.
But their best way to get the threes, as Rudy talked about at halftime with Jim Gray, was inside-out offense, and they're not doing that much, and in large part because Shaq is doing such a fine job individually on Hakeem.
62-60, Magic by 2, 4:05 to play in the third, and inside to Jeff Turner.
Jeff Turner quietly snuck down the lane. Nobody reacted. Olajuwon tried to make a saving block. Couldn't get there in time. But they've been able to catch Houston asleep with cutters going down the lane. Chucky Brown.
And a nice feed from Robert Horry. Looked like another perimeter pass coming. Instead, Horry looked down to the baseline.
Greg, the crowd seems to think that, well, hey, we won the championship last year. We beat Orlando. We can just beat them at will. The crowd is not pushing this team at all.
Bill Walton with the pulse of the team and the fans. Blocked from behind, strip, and foul. That one will be on Drexler.
But Shaq is so strong that Clyde Drexler, who's 6'7" and weighs 220, he comes in and he's going to slap and slash at this ball and barely make an impact at all. I'll tell you, it was all ball, though.
Number 2 on Drexler. And Clyde was ready to go the other way.
Anytime you take a wild swipe, it's almost an automatic call.
Shaquille now 0 for 3 from the line today. It is not a strong suit in his game.
Backing up this season is an all-time low for him. Hasn't made one yet.
That's where the thumb comes into play, though. He's only played in, what, 12 games this year? This is 13th game today?
You don't shoot free throws with your thumb.
You shoot everything with your thumbs and your feet.
65-62 Magic. He looks like he's been shooting the majority of them with his feet so far.
Hey, your shot comes from your feet. When your feet don't work, your shot doesn't go.
Cassell, top of the key for 3. No. Drexler with the loose ball. Hakeem, far side. Tapped by Drexler, no good. Rebound, out of bounds to Houston. Timeout on the floor, 2:58 to play. The Magic by 3. This is the NBA on NBC.
Reggie Miller.
Retreats to the three-point line and hits again.
Now join them on the road to glory. Tune in for an NBA special, Building a Contender, next Sunday.
Shaquille O'Neal sitting on the sideline. His task today guarding Hakeem Olajuwon, who has 16 points and 9 rebounds. Yesterday we asked Shaq, how do you go about preparing for a guy like Hakeem?
He has so many moves on there that you really can't prepare. You just have to, say to yourself when he makes his move, please, Miss Olajuwon, don't make that shot. But, I'm just going to come out and play hard. I'm trying to get him out the game before he gets me out the game.
I'm hoping Bill Walton uses this pet phrase. What about that now, Bill?
Failing to prepare is preparing to fail. You've got to come out and you've got to have a plan as to how you're going to stop these guys.
You didn't hear his plan? Get him out the game before he gets to be out the game. And he has been doing that here in the third quarter. He got 11 points. Rockets had a good play going for Chucky Brown. He just didn't take the ball with him.
Drexler back to Chucky Brown off the baseline. O'Neal had it and lost it. Anderson recovered. Magic by 3 as we come up on 2.5 minutes to play in the third.
Anfernee Hardaway has been surprisingly quiet, makes a sweet pass to Nick Anderson. So the Magic has continued to cut down the lane and make some good things happen. That's the first 2 of the second half for Nick Anderson.
Cassell back for Olajuwon.
Got to take it again.
And Cassell with the open pop. That one doesn't fall.
Houston can't shoot. A lot of these guys haven't practiced much. Ori has been out for 10 days. Sam Cassell hasn't practiced at all the last couple of days. It shows.
Well, what the Rockets want to do is, you know, be able to ride out this cold shooting streak, stay close in the ball game, and hope that they can change things around in the fourth. O'Neal pushed off.
That's number 3 on Shaquille O'Neal.
Anfernee Hardaway in the low post. It's such a weapon there. He's going to basically find guys wide open. And Hakeem, who's just 95 blocks away from becoming the NBA's all-time leading shot blocker, just cannot get his hands on that ball today. Orlando has been quicker to the ball all day. They've been a step ahead of Houston.
You know, we mentioned this during the last timeout. This has, in many respects, been an ugly game so far.
Maybe it was the birthday cake in the locker room beforehand.
But it's been competitive. You know, sometimes both teams can be sloppy, and nobody's able to break away, so they're able to stay close. Turnovers affected the first half of play. Missed shots have affected the second after it looked like the centers were going to dominate the third quarter. Chucky Brown gets 1 and 2.
I'd like to see Clyde Drexler try to take over offensively here. Spread the floor, let him get his head down and get to the hoop. Make him drive it out of there on the defensive end and nice fast breaks. 67-63 Orlando, 1.5 to play in the third.
The last time the Rockets made a run, it was forcing turnovers and running the ball up the floor. Cassell with the rebound.
Cassell running it up the floor for Drexler.
Good job by Turner to shut him off. This is the side of the floor that Olajuwon doesn't like.
And then Shaq just threw him down in transition, but Hakeem quickly backed up.
Back at him. O'Neal short follows. Rudy wants to push off, doesn't get it.
13 in the quarter for Shaquille O'Neal. He's now the leading scorer in the ball game with 21, but he just wanted that more, and the officials let him get away with a couple of things, and he made it happen.
69-65. We're under a minute to play for the third. Olajuwon, looks like he drew another one from Shaquille.
Yeah.
That'll be 4.
As O'Neal told it, you don't know what he's going to do, and he tricked him. He had him leaning toward the middle of the team baseline.
Well, as Hakeem has told us, he doesn't quite know what he's going to do.
Hakeem, though, has been on a tear in the second half of games lately, Greg. I mean, just in the second half, the last 3 games, he's been averaging 24 points per game in the last 3.
Check that number 42.
Such magnificent conditions.
Hakeem goes to the line 0 for 2 from the free throw line today. We have 43.3 to play here in the third. The Magic with a 4-point lead.
Olajuwon, who has been a better free thrower in other years, has struggled this year, particularly in some clutch moments for them. On the last trip out in Los Angeles, he missed a couple of huge free throws down the stretch, so he's been working extra on his free throws, gets both of those.
20 for Olajuwon. 2-point lead for the Magic. Last 35 seconds of the third quarter. Hardaway for 3. Got it.
3-point basket, Anfernee Hardaway.
When they bring Brian Shaw in, it just shows the versatility of Hardaway. Able to play a small forward position, a power forward position. He's just going to play probably center right now.
Point forward.
They got to go back to Olajuwon. He's got David Vaughn on him.
Through the double team. Doesn't get the roll. Tap in is good. Chucky Brown. Or Mark Bryant, rather.
Greg, the strength in Hakeem's hand when he's able to spin back through and rip the ball through the double team that's slashing down. Tremendous.
5 seconds to play in the quarter. 3 seconds. Jeff Turner, top of the key. The buzzer sounds, and it doesn't go. The battle of the Titans continues. Hakeem Olajuwon, 20 points, 10 rebounds. Shaquille, 21 and 10. 13 of them here in the third quarter. We've played 3, 72-69. Orlando will be back after these messages and a word from your local station. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
Thing, and now it's ruining my life.
You want me to take you out of the election?
Been able to do it for a decade and do it very effectively.
What a pass by Stockton!
Stockton's main focus is getting the ball to Karl Malone, because Karl Malone is going to finish. That's why they call him the mailman, because he delivers.
Use the mailman. What a play!
Anytime you turn your head, it's too late. That's how good they are.
John Stockton and Karl Malone, 2 parts of the Dream Team, coming this summer.
You're watching
Retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the NBA.
12 minutes to play here at the Summit in Houston in regulation. Orlando 72, Houston 69. And Orlando basketball to start the fourth.
But you got Orlando playing without Shaq and without Penny at this moment.
If the Rockets are going to make a move, they got their people out on the floor to do it. Horry, Drexler, and Cassell.
Jim Gray tells us off the sidelines that Shaquille says his thigh is bothering him right now. Shot clock expires on the Magic.
Horry with a great reaction to the Dennis Scott turnaround, knocks that one away, and that's the kind of defense that Rudy wants to see played.
As opposed to the start of the game when Horry is going for pump fakes all the time. Now that he's got his rhythm, he'll stay down and be able to just tower over the top of Scott.
Well, post up. They're going to come back to Olajuwon. They're going to make the defense react now because David Vaughn can't deal with the big fella.
Double team, triple team, Olajuwon hits.
How do you make that shot? There's 3 guys hanging all over you. He doesn't even look at the basket. Nothing but net.
Orlando by 1. Shaw wants to post up Cassell. And throws it away. Drexler on the run for Horry. And fouled.
They've got to come back with Penny Hardaway right now.
Orlando foul.
I mean, sure you want to give a guy a rest right now, but Hakeem against 3 guys. Vaughn really.
Vaughn did a good job. He did all you could do, but that is a shot that Olajuwon has perfected and made against everybody. So as a rookie, Vaughn can feel no shame. It's just that is his weapon, one of the many, and you just have to take the hit.
Hakeem is a rhythm player, a rhythm shooter, much the way the great Elvin Hayes was. Both of them out of the University of Houston, learned from Guy Lewis.
Robert Horry now 3 out of 3 from the line this afternoon.
And what a player like Vaughn will learn over the years is to try to read that rhythm and try to anticipate. Because if you wait and don't guess and try to get there a little bit quicker, you have absolutely no chance.
Vaughn comes out of the game, and they come back with Jumpin' Joe Wolf. But again, the idea is to go back into Olajuwon until O'Neal hits the floor.
Horry gives Houston the lead, 73-72, 10:45 to play in regulation.
Shaw hurt them in that second quarter. He had 9 in the quarter and rattled that one in, and he's capable of having big offensive moments.
Orlando by 1.
Now, he and Sam are both grinning, and Sam is telling me, you were lucky on that one.
The double curl and then the dunk in.
Mark Bryant with the shot clock at 5. Off the baseline.
Mark Bryant's got a solid offensive game in the low post. He can score. He got very limited opportunities up there in Portland where he was just on the bench all the time because they had so many good forwards.
Rockets by 1. Nick Anderson across the lane. Rebound Hakeem. Rockets looking to build on something more than a 1-point lead for the first time this afternoon. Olajuwon in the lane. Drexler will go to the line. Let's go back to that little game being played in the backcourt, Steve.
Well, there is a game within a game, and Brian Shaw gets that one to go down, and then he's got a big grin on his face, and Sam is saying, you know you're lucky. You know you were lucky.
Sam also says we have plenty of time left to play here this afternoon.
Jordan in the
road trip.
It's all right. What's all that? Are you having a party in my house?
Party? I'm just sitting here reading the book. Hey, caught the game last night. Let me just put it this way. You're the best player in the NBA. I mean, those spin moves and the dunks. Oh, too vicious. I had to go outside and do some Tai Chi just to calm myself
Man, you
down.
are having a party. I swear, if you and your sloppy friends are messing up my house...
Oh, thanks, baby. Meet me by the pool.
Hello?
Hey, I can't talk now. I'm driving through a tunnel.
Where great taste runs in the family, brings you Miller Moments.
Today's Miller Moment features the last-second heroics of Anfernee Hardaway, who has hit 3 game-winning buzzer beaters for the Magic this season.
Inbound to Penn. He's got the rock against Aston. Gets a big screen from Hardaway split, fires it up, good! He's got it against Anfernee. 3 to shoot. Hardaway hard drive, leaning, hanging. Yes! It's over. Hardaway off the dribble. Goes right to the belly.
In recognition of those moments, Miller will donate $1,000 to the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund. There he is on the sideline, Anfernee Hardaway. Big news for the Magic right now, though, is that Shaquille O'Neal is back in the lineup despite the sore thigh.
But Jim Gray just told us that the defensive strategy, Shaq playing with 4 fouls, besides the sore thigh, Joe Wolf is going to play against the team because Shaq doesn't feel that he can keep up with the maneuverability of the Dream.
He's going to have to come back to play him at some point because Joe Wolf is going to end up going to the bench due to fouls because they're going to try to continue to attack inside and break down the interior defense. Shaq off the ball could close things down. Drexler misses his first free throw.
Wolf has 4 free throws now.
Going to have to keep our eye on Shaq's maneuverability here.
Drexler taken away by Shaw. 76-74, Rockets by 2. Nick Anderson for 3. And Shaq down low, missed the short one. Wolf outside for Scott. Back outside, Shaw for 3. Around and out for Ori. Here comes Cassell. Gonna pull up. Mark Bryant blocked from behind. Cassell got a piece of it. And the foul is on Sam Cassell. That's number 3.
A lot of pushing and shoving under the hoop. Ill-advised shot by Cassell. Heat check shots. Find out how hot you are. And Mark Bryant got away with a push. Finally got Sam Cassell.
Well, let's make this point. We said that this has been an ugly game for the better part of 3 quarters, but you see the intensity has really picked up in the last 2 minutes.
Hardaway back in the ball game. Dennis got down, and they leave Brian Shaw out on the floor. Let's see if O'Neal is really bothered by the thigh. Hardaway trying to take over.
Out of bounds. Now, let's see. The officials disagree as to who should get the basketball. Looks like it's going to be... Well, they're still talking about it.
The way Mark Bryant slid across there looked like he was auditioning for a spot in the NFL. But when Penny comes down the lane, out of the left side of your screen, Mark Bryant just comes in there.
Well, they're going to jump it.
Gave him a hip, and Ori's reaction, can't believe it. Bryant controls it, but they can't get to it before it goes out of bounds. So out of all of that, they get a fresh 24. That shot clock, had the Magic gotten it back, was down to 7.
Interesting number, by the way, gentlemen. First half, Orlando 5 of 12 in 3-pointers. This half, 1 for 7.
A long road trip. Remember, it's the end of, what, a 9 or 10-day road trip?
9 days, 5 games. Hardaway inside. Anfernee Hardaway.
Hardaway doing a good job of breaking down. Drexler backing down, got close to the rim to tie it up.
8:25 to play in the 4th. And Shaw with a hand on that one and knocked it out of bounds.
If you want to know where Hardaway has improved, it's this right here. His ability not only to break a guy down like Drexler, but to get the ball up in the air. His strength is much better than it was a year ago.
And Drexler is a tremendous defensive player.
Ori for 3. Rockets, and Cassell going to push it.
And missed a chance. Drexler was wide open, jumping up and down in the lane. Cassell going for a two-man game. He wants it back. I think Sam wants to put something in on this one.
Cassell down the lane, off balance, picked off by O'Neal.
This is not Sam's best game.
But Sam plays like that. It seems like he can be erratic and very spotty and then suddenly make all of the right plays in the critical moments. He had a big second quarter for the Rockets when they were struggling. O'Neal.
Short. That time Hakeem got him out a little bit out of that range for the jump hook.
Drexler on the drive. Got it on the foul. And Hardaway looks like he got a hand in the face.
Clyde Drexler, such a punishing player. When he's coming at you in the full court, Michael Jordan, Clyde Drexler, the things they can do with their bodies at 6'7". And then Hakeem does the same thing in a 7-footer's body.
Watch the left hand of Drexler right there.
You know what that little dog would tell him, Penny, you don't play defense with your face.
And Penny is not at all pleased and wants to come back and talk to Drexler about it. And a technical foul has just been called. And Hardaway wants to come out and talk about it. Penny wants to know how he can get hit in the eye and be charged with the foul.
Welcome to the NBA. Welcome to Clyde Drexler's home court.
Now, anytime you're in transition, if you cannot get stopped and set, the call generally goes to the offensive player. And that's what happened for Drexler. Hardaway upset not only because of the foul, but then the punishment that he took on the way.
Meanwhile, Sam Cassell missed the technical, missed the free throw. And now Drexler will go to the line to try to complete a three-point play. Houston leads 81-76. We still have 7:23 to play in regulation.
Hardaway is hot, and you know he's going to get himself in trouble with the officials. So what he's got to do is rein his emotions in and get back to playing basketball.
Steve, huge advantage at the line today for Houston. That's 18 points made at the foul line. Houston's only made 6 from the free throw line today. Excuse me, Orlando's got 6 and Houston's got the 18.
The difference in the game is 6 points. Houston, 7 now. Shaw. Horry with the rebound.
Now, the problem is that the Rockets have been able to get out in the open court and hurt the Magic in transition. That's what happened in the final.
Olajuwon with the jumper. Brian Hill says we got to talk about it. Hakeem with 24. Final round action of the Bob Hope Chrysler Classic coming up once we wind down here, but we have lots to go. Here, once again, is the injury to Anfernee Hardaway.
You see, Hardaway is giving ground the entire time. Yes, Clyde put his hand right in his face, but you're not going to get that call. The official was shielded on the play. If he's going to get that call, he has to get out in front of the basket and stop Drexler, and he didn't do it.
That was an offensive foul. As a guy who's been dunked on by just about everybody, you got to have that call.
Hardaway goes back in down the lane and draws the foul.
How many times have we seen, and how many times have you pushed off, I pushed off, and you know you got to know when to push off.
I like what both teams have done. Anfernee Hardaway right now comes right back and gets that ball in the low post and takes it to the hoop. He gets back to the line. Earlier in the game, it was Hakeem. When Hakeem had got a bad play called against him, they come right back down and they play off that emotions of the players.
Orlando now 7 for 11 from the free throw line in this game. Houston 18 for 24. And now 8 out of 12 for the Magic.
The Magic are having one of those droughts that hurt them on the road against Utah. They go 4.5 minutes in the fourth quarter and don't score. They've only scored 6 points so far here in just about 6 minutes of play.
Olajuwon over Wolf. Got it.
I think you got to come back with Shaq on Hakeem. Shaq has only taken 4 free throws today. He's got 21 points and 12 boards, but you got to force the other team to foul you. That changes the entire complexion of the game.
Too deep, they poke it away. He wants the ball in the same spot.
Going to go back to him. He spins to the baseline, got the bucket and the foul. That's a terrific move by Shaquille O'Neal. Again, going to his left all day long and then spins to his right for the first time today.
That's why you set it up with the jump hook there. Then they got to lean for that way. That's where the double team is going to come from. And then you roll off him. Again, we're seeing moves from Shaq today that Hakeem has perfected over years and years. Remember, this is Shaq's 4th year in the league.
Big free throw made there. He's got a 3-point play, 24 in the afternoon, his first 3 points of the 4th quarter. But they got to see him step up, close down the middle, and have this into the floor. The Rockets got a pretty good rhythm going with Olajuwon against Joe Rule.
Just under 6 minutes to play now in the 4th. Cassell out of the corner, comes up short. Wolf with the rebound.
Wolf has done a fine job in his limited role today. Drexler out of the game right now for a brief rest. That could really hurt Houston.
Penny looks down low for Shaquille again in the double team. Dennis Scott open for 3. Got it. That's a 2. Had his foot on the line. Make that a 2. So it's an 86-83 Houston lead. Under 5.5 to play.
That 2 is almost the worst shot of basketball because you want the 3 and you've stepped in. Coming back to Joe Wolf and Olajuwon.
The double team on Hakeem, and Anderson comes over to tie him up.
That time Nick took that second step to get right in Hakeem's feet there, so that Hakeem couldn't rip that ball through it. He's as good as anyone who's ever played at that. Finally, Drexler back in the game.
Drexler, Ori, Olajuwon, Cassell, Ori for the 3. And Mark Bryant on the floor.
2 quick 3 misses by the Rockets, and that's pulled the Magic with this possession a chance to get with 1 or 3.
And Shaquille with the turnaround on the baseline. Houston 86, Orlando 85, coming up on 4:50 to play. And timeout, Houston.
And Rudy Top James is going to say, play the clock, and dump it inside.
26 points for Shaquille O'Neal. The Magic within 1, 4:50 remaining. This is the NBA on NBC.
BC. Start your Super Sunday with a great NBA matchup at 12:30 Eastern. The one and only Michael Jordan, the irrepressible Scottie Pippen, and the always amazing Dennis Rodman lead the red-hot Chicago Bulls as they host the one and only Charles Barkley and the Phoenix Suns. Super Sunday starts with the NBA on NBC. The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Jeep, maker of the new award-winning Jeep Grand Cherokee. By McDonald's, the official break of the NBA. Have you had your break today? And by cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft. Stay cool.
The history between these teams, the Rockets lead Orlando 13-7 all time, 9-7 in regular season play. And here at the Summit, Houston has won 7 of 8 meetings. Sam Cassell backs up behind the 3. Get it!
Now that's confident. They missed all the other times, and I could have taken the 2. Now, let's try to go for the nail in the coffin.
Greg, on that head-to-head matchup, in regular season head-to-head, Shaq has got a 5-2 edge over Hakeem in the regular season. But remember, we know what happened in the playoffs last year. 4-0 for Hakeem.
Drexler corrals the rebound.
Well, after a couple of big mates, O'Neal is short with that. They can't get the rebound, and the Rockets decide to set up. You got to know if you're the team in blue, they're going to come back to Olajuwon and try to collapse on him.
Too many guys to guard him that time.
Cassell for 3. Wolf with the rebound. Hardaway on Cassell. Spins and gets it. Anfernee Hardaway with 21. 89-87. Rockets by 2. Coming up on 3:35 to play in regulation.
Hardaway is like Jordan, like Drexler, like Pete Maravich, like Dr. J. When they're coming at you one-on-one in the open court to break, there's nothing.
Drexler inside, missed the layup. Nick Anderson with the loose ball, and Orlando will come back looking for at least a tie. Dennis Scott for 3. And Mark Bryant has the rebound.
Terrific position, Bryant. I thought Dennis Scott should have dumped it into Shaq that time. There was so much time on the shot clock.
Here comes Shaq trying to help out against Olajuwon.
Drexler with the rebound. And back out to Horry. Horry going to drive and crushed by Joe Wolf. That's 5 on Wolf. Let's go back to Penny Hardaway's drive.
Sam Cassell knew he was in trouble, and he's trying to draw the foul. Watch him fall and bail out, and Hardaway just spins for an easy 2.
And then Robert Horry finds a seam and down the lane, and Joe Wolf steps in and says, I can't meet you up top, but down low, I'm solid.
I'll reach you somewhere.
5 fouls against Joe Wolf.
Sam Cassell just cannot learn to stay away from that basket area, keep away from the big guys. Shaq just said, get out of here, you little guys here.
But that's part of what makes Sam Cassell special. I mean, you know, he's kind of like John Stockton in the regard that he's fearless, and he's going to go in, set screens, drive the ball, get in your way.
Horry upset, missing the second of those 2 free throws. Rockets with a 3-point lead, 2:45 to play.
Steve, did you say fearless or foolish?
Fearless.
Okay.
Hardaway with a long 3. Tie game at 90.
Penny with a big finish, 9 in the quarter. He now has 24.
And we have 2:25 to play. Rockets 90, the Magic 90. Hakeem spins to the inside and got the push.
At the 5th team foul, the 6th foul against Joe Wolf.
Personal foul. He has fouled all game.
Hardaway, who spent the entire summer working on his perimeter game, the elevation, but notice the arc on the ball. It's much better this year than it was a year ago. That shot was flatter. That one's true to the mark. A big shot for him.
What I did on my summer vacation.
When you're as talented as Penny Hardaway and have been able, over the course of your career, to dominate inside of the basket area, and finally now he's moving to the perimeter. Love to see that arc that you were talking about, Steve. So very few shooters, particularly the ones who elevate like Penny Hardaway, have that natural arc.
Meanwhile, Hakeem at the free throw line, now 3 out of 5 from there, 27 points, 11 rebounds. 28 points and a 2-point Houston lead.
Orlando's gone away from Shaq. I think it's time to dump it inside, put more pressure, get a 3-point play here.
In addition to Shaq, Hardaway, Anderson, Scott, and Shaw, the near steal. Hakeem coming from behind.
It was almost a near steal. Olajuwon stepped in front, and the ball bounced right back to Hardaway, and a no-look pass is right on the money. Watch the recovery by Olajuwon. Now, he's beat, and O'Neal's going to try to go with 2 hands. Olajuwon gets back to get a piece of it, and the body of O'Neal. Sam Cassell is telling the crowd, let's go. Make some noise now.
Cassell has 4 fouls. Shaquille now 2 for 6 from the line. A 50% free throw shooter on the year.
They may want to check the positioning of that basket after Shaq was swinging on it like that.
That's the Magic want to check. I mean, if you're the Rockets, it's off balance, let it go.
Got 1 out of 2.
Now there was some beautiful arch right there.
92-91 Houston as we come up on 2 minutes for the game.
2 minutes in the quarter, 2 minutes.
They got a mismatch, Bryant against Nick Anderson, but can Bryant finish? That's the difference right there. Money on the line, you got a mismatch, you got to make that shot. Now Hardaway and O'Neal should play a 2-man game.
Hardaway down the lane.
Anfernee Hardaway.
11 points for Hardaway in the quarter.
Rudy wants timeout. Rudy Tomjanovich says timeout after Hardaway used the screen from Shaquille, found the opening down the lane, and put it away. 93-92, Magic in the lead with 1:35 as the Rockets look for a 20-second timeout and get it.
Normally on that screen, Hakeem would step out and get in Penny's way, but he's so concerned about Shaq. I mean, his only concern is that I got to stay at home, I got to stay at home. When they run that high pick and roll with Penny and Shaq, I think they'd be better off forcing Penny down to the baseline. Don't let him turn that corner because you're not going to get any help from Hakeem.
We want to remind you that coming up after the game, final round action, the Bob Hope Chrysler Classic. That's coming up next here on NBC. John Houston, we are told, has a one-shot lead on the field. Final round coverage, Chrysler Classic, next here on NBC.
This ball game much different than the first one on Christmas Day, and that the Rockets have to get off the floor to get the lead and lose in the closing moments of Penny Hardaway. The Rockets have been in this one, have had control, seen the Magic step up and answer the bell. We got 1:30 to go, Greg.
How about the matchup, Nick Anderson on Mark Bryant?
Well, you can't go with that one now. You got to go with someone that you feel is going to make a play and deliver the goods. Drexler stuck.
Hakeem with the jumper from outside, hit it. Hakeem Olajuwon with 30 points.
That's basketball in the 90s, though, Greg. You post up a Drexler, and you got Hakeem at the three-point line out there. He pump fake and then drills the jumper.
Rockets by one. Tapped away from behind. And Drexler has the basketball.
And Clyde was yelling at Sam Cassell, don't throw that quick, wild outlet. Play the clock here.
Well, they got the elbow up, and that tells you they're going inside somewhere. Olajuwon against O'Neal.
The fadeaway, no good. O'Neal with the rebound. Outlet for Hardaway by himself.
Anfernee Hardaway.
Another huge play by the Magic. O'Neal saw him open, and Hardaway took it on his own. And Ori, who's pretty good at making blocks from the rear, could not get there in time.
95-94, Orlando by one. 42.4 to play. We're coming back to the Summit in just a moment.
Some people are the stage for all the rest when the big
coaches are always telling rebounders, look to the other end of the floor because something good might happen. Hardaway broke away from the pack to throw this one down in the closing moments of this ball game. Robert Horry trying to fly in and make him miss, and Horry's pretty good at making that block. Now, all of the Magic wanted a three-point play, and Rudy's hoping that somehow Robert can make a save.
Wasn't going to happen.
Rudy, a five-time All-Star in his career as a player, which is he going to play defense.
42.4 to play. Magic 95. Rockets with the ball, down one.
Jim Gray just told us from the Houston huddle, Houston wants to play two-man basketball and quickly go 2 for 1 in the 40-second game clock situation at the end of the quarter.
Top of the key. Ori going to drive, puts it up left-handed, no. Rebound, good.
Bryant got the rebound, put it back in, and the Magic team a little confused as to what to do, whether to take a timeout or go back to Hardaway.
17 seconds to play. 12 on the shot clock. Hardaway, an expert at winning at the buzzer. Outside, Nick Anderson gives it up. Dennis Scott for three. No. Shaquille with the rebound. Got it. 4.7 to play. And Shaquille O'Neal with the putback to give Orlando the 97-96 lead.
This is a big-time rebound save by O'Neal. The shot is long. Watch the position. He's inside, and all of the strength that you've been talking about, Bill, is right there. Olajuwon can do nothing to stop it.
Still 4.7 to play. The Magic by one, and we're coming back after these words from your local station.
Tuesday on
Olajuwon. One of the men in the spotlight. Orlando 97, Houston 96, 4.7 to play. The Rockets with Rick Kasner, Cassell, Ori, Drexler, and Hakeem on the floor.
Rick Kasner?
Eldridge Rick Kasner.
Rick Kasner is a very good perimeter shooter, and they're thinking if they have to get one away quickly, he may be the last option and be able to make the shot. They get a delay a game.
Orlando with O'Neal, Shaw, Anderson, Hardaway, and Scott on the floor.
What the Rockets want to do is get the ball up in the air quickly, give themselves a chance to rebound the ball. Sam Cassell.
Cassell lost it down the lane, blocked by O'Neal, and it's over. The Orlando Magic complete the series sweep on the Houston Rocket with the victory here in the Summit. Take one more look. The final 97-96. Cassell thinks he was fouled. Let's have a look.
Well, Sam, who plays defense and he slaps people all the time, got grabbed and slapped on the way in that time, and then the shot blocked as he got it back. So no good fortune for E.T. as he tried to close this one out. But initially, he has a lane. He's got to take this drive. Hardaway gives him that lane, tries to reach in, got him across the arm, but O'Neal makes the saving play.
Rudy Tomjanovich not at all pleased with the foul, but Shaquille O'Neal led the way, 29 points, 16 rebounds. Let's join Jim Gray out on the floor. Jim.
All right, thank you, Greg. Well, Shaq, you had the winning basket and also the block in a critical situation here tonight. Tell us about the block shot right there at the end.
Well, they had 3D. They took a shot in the corner, and I went one way and came back and got the ball in the baseline and put it back up. And right then, there was 4 seconds on the clock, and Penny played good defense on Cassell. He tried to force a shot, and I just blocked it.
How much was your thigh bothering, and how important is this win on the road? You guys have really struggled on this road trip on the road.
I mean, it's hurting like crazy, but my thing is, if I can walk, if I can run, I can play out there with my guys. I missed the first 27 games, and I missed 3 games last weekend. I'm going to try not to miss any more games.
Jack, congratulations. Penny, you guys have now beaten Houston twice here in the regular season. After the 4-game sweep, how important to establish yourselves against the Western Conference team?
Well, it's important for us, even though we've lost a lot of games on the Western Coast, to beat the top teams on the Western Coast. And Houston's right now one of the top teams, and it's a good feeling to come in here and win a game after last year's sweep.
Tell us about the confidence factor of this team, how much confidence you have, particularly without Horace.
Well, we have a lot of confidence. When Shaq was out, we played without Shaq, and now that Horace is out, we're playing without him. And the team knows how to play, in crucial situations like today, without our veteran guys in there, and we pulled it out.
You ruined Hakeem's birthday. How's your eye?
Well, I can't really worry about Hakeem's birthday. I'm really worried about my eye more so, but it's all right now, and I'll be all right.
A little swelled up, a little fight here tonight, but it wasn't Mike Tyson. Congratulations, Penny.
Mike Tyson. Yo, baby, yo.
Let's go back to Craig Gumbel.
All right, Jim Gray, you mentioned it, a rare road victory for this Orlando Magic. What does it say about the future of these two teams this season?
And they could say we'll have a terrific rematch in the finals. They both know that they're mirror images.
Bill? All right, Bill, 97-96 Orlando, the final score for Bill Walton, Steve Jones, and Jim Gray. I'm Greg Gumbel. So long from Houston. It's been a presentation of the NBA on NBC. Now, final round.